He said, I only have $100 for my campaign. I gave this man 20,000 United States dollars. He goes around, if it's not for me, he would never have to.
Let me come.
If United Party wanted a vote from Liberty Party, they just lost one in Dallas Belong. Because he's not going to be on the table when we're deciding. He's compromised. You know, at the end of the day, this institution will make a decision. Whether it is me or it's one on one, it doesn't matter. But for Dallas Dillon to look at me and call me criminal, a man, and I said that Petty Masambi is the witness. I housed this man for 2 years. Paid for his rent for 2 years. The very time Dallas Dillon was using before he became senator, I voted for him. The campaign is on record. His 2019 campaign, I asked him, how much you have? He said, I only have $100 for my campaign. I gave this man 20,000 United States dollars. He goes around, if it's not for me, he would never have to.
Let me come.
To prove to us, at least some of all the Liberty Party, and the team that was talking about anyone, so when you're the chairman, I can do the real most of it, and that's exactly what he's doing. And that's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, so, look, Musa is like a guy who did DM money, successfully took it to the bank, and the bank gave him clean money, and for him to counsel and use that clean money and let him, he decided to go to DM then again and take the black money to the bank and expecting that nobody will catch it. Musa believes a punishment. Musa as a punishment. Every human being gets a shortcoming someplace. But for God, he never said, when people lose a perception of you, even if that perception is not true, try to make it true. Try to prove it as not true. Maybe it was a perception of Musa as a crook. We did not decide to fall for it. We gave Musa an opportunity to prove to the public wrongly the perception that he's a crook. To prove it as not true. Maybe it was a perception of Musa as a crook. We did not decide to fall for it. We gave Musa an opportunity to prove to the public wrongly the perception that he's a crook. What Musa decided to do to prove to us, at least some of all the Liberty Party, and the team that was talking about anyone, so when you're the chairman, I can do the real most of it, and that's exactly what he's doing. And that's what I'm saying.
It means you already tell me print. What before you print?
Hello. If United Party wanted a vote from Liberty Party, they just lost one in Dallas Belong. Because he's not going to be on the table when we're deciding. He's compromised. You know, at the end of the day, this institution will make a decision. Whether it is me or it's one on one, it doesn't matter. But for Dallas Dillon to look at me and call me criminal, a man, and I said that Petty Masambi is the witness. I housed this man for 2 years. Paid for his rent for 2 years. The very time Dallas Dillon was using before he became senator, I voted for him. The campaign is on record. His 2019 campaign, I asked him, how much you have? He said, I only have $100 for my campaign. I gave this man 20,000 United States dollars. He goes around, if it's not for me, he would never have to.
Let me come. Hold on.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. Breaking news in country. Brandon Samoka has been ordered to go to jail by the Supreme Court of Liberia. I repeat, the Lofa County Senator-elect has been sent to court, has been sent to prison by the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia. I am quoting the Front Page Africa 7 minutes ago publication. The Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia today handed down a verdict sending Brandon Samoka to jail for refusing to pay the money. Breaking news in the country. Let me reiterate, rephrase. Brandon Samoka, Liberia's former defense minister, has been sent to prison for his refusal to pay the money due the people of Liberia and the military men and women of our armed forces. We bring you details of that during the course of the program, but you will listen to more of the development on face the issues with Abraham Godson Weah when he will be deeper from his legal perspective. But as we speak, Brandon Samoka is headed to South Beach until I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun, but from where we sit, I can't tell whether if he paid the money, whether if he can go beg GD Bank, Echo Bank, or all of the other banks, whether they can, give the money and he will not go to jail. I can tell. But we're going to be looking into the verdict. Hopefully, we are to have the verdict given to us at about this show time. And trust me, the news department of Freedom Communications Incorporated, under the guardians, the mentorship, the leadership of Willie Topa, will soon furnish me with the entire story, the entire copy of the verdict by the Supreme Court of Liberia. This is where we are as a country. This is where we are as a people. This is where we are as Liberians. On the flip side of issues from the developmental perspective, President Dr. George Weah on today launched the Liberian Telecommunication Company, LTC for short, the service entity for LibTeco. So as we speak, we are going to be having 3 different GSM companies in Liberia. The original Lone Star Cell MTN, our own Celcom / Orange, and now a Liberian Telecommunications Corporation, the LTC. Good news for the corporate side of governance. The government of Liberia on today, through the office of the president, was able to launch the LTC project. So you're going to be having new SIM cards across the country. You're going to be having new numbers. It should be 022-002, whatever the number is. We're going to get the details of that. Anderson Chier, who's the deputy at the entity, with his boss, Richmond Toby, and the rest of the entire team members play a very pivotal role in reaching to this point under the leadership of President George Weah and the people of Liberia. Good news. Too many other issues happening. Dawes DeLong is expected to be at the court today. It is our understanding that he was on the way to court while we were preparing for the presentation. So we await the findings from the Supreme Court, not the Supreme Court, from the Temple of Justice, from the Criminal Court, or better still, the Civil Law Court, whichever court it is, to give us findings as to the status of the DeLong and Musa Belete case. More to that, still from the Temple of Justice, Alexander Cummings is expected to provide the original framework document that was signed by the 4 political leaders of the constituent political parties in the CPP. Cummings is being requested. Since you say you did not finger the papers, since you say you did not steal it, you are not a fraudster, bring us the copy of the one you sent to NEC. Let's get it. Give it to us. Let's compare the signatures. Let's compare Benina Euro's signature to what you have. Let's know whether it was this paper that Benina Euro signed. Let's know it was the one you took to Yombli Baka to affix the signature to. So according to the information, he has up to 72 hours to do that. That is what it is. On the flip side of issues, Buema JV Buema has somersaulted. I'm saying somersaulted because he did that before. He went back to where he was, and today Buema JV Buema has somersaulted. To this point, let me remind you a little bit. Let me take you back to what we knew about Buema Kamara. Not Buema Kamara, but Buema JV Buema. And what we still know about him. Buema JV Buema was a supporter of the Liberty Party. He later on went to the CDC. He became a staunch member of the CDC. He campaigned for the CDC. President Weah came to power. He was appointed at the Liberian Broadcasting Corporation as head of rural broadcasting at the entity. More to that, he accused the president of some infidelity issues. Later on, Buema came and said he wronged the president. He said he lied on the president. So he became the official liar man in the Republic of Liberia. He lied. That's why he told us that he lied on the president. After that, he said he was supporting the president again. In 2 weeks, Buema JV Buema thought to support Alice Cummings. So he was with the Cummings team. After 2 months, Buema JV Buema accused Cummings of being a gay, of taking money from the gay society to run political activities in the country. After that, he pledged his unflinching support to Joe Nyoma Bwaka. This same Buema JV Buema man, after doing that, on today, he did a post thanking President George Weah and the team at the Leptelco entity for launching the LTC mobile. I quiz him. I asked him a simple question. I said, Buema JV Buema. When I say I mean IKOK. I posted a question. I said, Buema, this thing where you praising Weah and you praising Leptelco for opening a new cell phone company, will you still support Joe Bwaka? And he wrote something very long. Alexa will read it. He wrote something very long. And so it was in that response to my question, to my very first question, that he made it clear that he would never and ever go against President George Weah. He was very, the group was fully. He was into fools when he did all of what he did against the president. We take few bars of our theme song. By the time we come back, people, like I told you, we have in our possession the verdict of the Supreme Court that just sent Brandon Samuka to jail. The paper will be lacking in South Beach. We take few bars of our theme song to be right back. Okay, all right. So welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. Alexa, bonsoir. Comment ça va?
Bonsoir, Oliver. Ça va très bien, merci. Et
Okay.
toi?
Dear Messi.
Well, I would like to say good afternoon to you, Oliver, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you who are following our today's edition of the program Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM. The biggest thing to happen to be right about this time. However, where you're joining us, would like to say welcome. Well, you listen to Oliver, and there are a couple of different things going on in country right now. And from where I sit, or from where we sit, the drama has already increased to a point where we don't know exactly what is next. We don't know exactly who is involved next. We don't know exactly what to expect. So, however way you're joining us, you have to just sit back and listen to exactly what we're going to tell you, because today, almost everything we're going to say from our menu will be from the Temple of Justice. So we have ALP, we have ANC, we have LP, we have Brony Samuka on the other hand. So you can just imagine how dramatic it's going to be today, and how we're going to tell you exactly what we've been saying about all of these people in this country and where exactly this is leading. But then Oliver had to make a comment about Bowman Jeffrey Bowman, who is a very good friend of mine as well as Oliver's. And today I was a little bit shocked again, because it's like Boema, he's going to come back today, and tomorrow you're going to see another thing from him, and after tomorrow you're going to see something else that you won't really get over. So today when I read exactly his response to you, Oliver, I was again shocked, because he has shocked us a lot in this country. So I was like, wow, I can't believe this is seriously coming from Boema again after all that. But I mean, this is just a part of the regular drama we've been seeing over the past weeks, and we hope to experience more of these, because every day we have a lot of people who are stressed, and sometimes you just need political entertainers. You just need people who are, will embarrass themselves. You just need people who would definitely sell themselves. So I mean, we can just sit back and imagine how dramatic it is. We can imagine how people have already, changed their intention from the previous stance. They've already changed their intention, and they already have something else that is going on. So, I mean, from where we sit today, we can tell you clearly we have a lot of things on our menu. So, however way you're joining us, we'd like to say just stay there and listen to our own analysis.
Okay, so basically that's exactly what it is, and let me run over to what Boema said today.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to do that quickly?
Yeah.
So
okay. So so earlier this morning, you listened to Oliver. Today is the 27th day
already left in with Boema. We'll go
of
to
January already.
Samaka.
And we had the LTC Mobile launched. You listened to Oliver. We're going to have about 3 GSM companies in Liberia. We're going to have the Orange. We're going to have Lone Star Cell.
And
we
LTC
equally
Mobile.
have LTC Mobile that was already launched earlier on today. So Bowman Jeffrey Bowman did a post, and he was appreciating the team from that angle as well as the president of the Republic of Liberia. So after that, Oliver dramatically pose a question.
I was in my grable mood this morning, and I asked him, with all of the press you're doing to the president.
Exactly, Oliver wrote, great observation. Are you still supporting Boakai?
Are you still supporting?
Yeah.
I mean, let me give the reason why I asked the question, right?
Because I seriously want to know.
Boema praised the president. He praised how the government was the one that was able to make Liberia to get her own GSM company that will start making millions for our country.
Right.
He talked about all of the good things, how Liberia is going to a better, a better level. The country is moving in a good and right direction. So I asked him, I said, okay, good observation. Are you still supporting Bwaka? Alexa, read what he wrote.
Well, okay. So after Oliver asked that question, Boema said, my political exploration has ended long since. It was our collective efforts that put President Weah into office. I have been stupid enough to go against the very man that picked me among 4 million people to make me a junior government official in previous elections.
Fine. He said, I was very stupid.
Yeah.
To go against a man who took me out of 4 million people to make me a junior government official. Poema Jerry Poema responding
Yeah.
to me.
That
He
was,
said
that was one of
he
the
said he
things
was
that-
very stupid to go against a man who took him out of over 4 million people to make him a junior government official. Go ahead, Alexa.
As we stand,
Mhm.
no man can beat President Weah
The pe-
in
The place we're sitting down, Nana. That Poema
No
Jerry
one.
Poema talking. To
Yeah.
where we're sitting now,
yeah.
nobody in the country can beat President Weah. This is from
Come
Poema Jerry Poema.
2023.
Mhm.
This is my revolution. Even if my own brothers and sisters, including our leader, rejects me for my past actions against them, I will never fight them again.
Okay.
Wow.
So I finish saying the thing. Right now in the country, nobody can beat George Weah in the coming 2023 election. That the whole thing what I finish believing in. Even people who and myself used to be in CEC before, where the time I started acting Saka, they were getting very with me. Even if they say very with me today, I don't get problem with them. But for me, I would never fight George Weah again once I still living. Go ahead.
The worst I would do would be to remain quiet in 2023.
So even when I see him, where I'm not able to go back because of the Tabata while we're talking, the Fitija were involved with, and not able to go back to CDC headquarters to go where Blueberry. Even when I'll be too ashamed to the extent where I will not be able to open my mouth, I'll just be quiet. But me, I can never fight George Weah again.
But if I talk,
Mm-hmm.
I will talk Weah, and we will tell our people why Dr. George Weah should be retained in the presidency.
If Chimfe not carry me, if I manage to take all the Chimfe from my face because of the footing Fitija and Tabata I was involved with, obviously it means I will get involved in the politics and it will be about Bekube. It will be about no other person but George Weah. That Burma Jimmy Burma. Hope it doesn't change
his mind
day after
again.
tomorrow.
And he definitely had a last phrase, and he says, ungratefulness is a sin. God has forgiven my sins, and I will never in my lifetime act ungrateful towards President Weah again.
Ungratefulness is a sin. God Almighty finished forgiving me for acting ungrateful to the president,
Oh yeah.
for lying on the president, for
Uh-huh.
lying all over. I supported you. I left you. I go support Cummings. I left Cummings. I supported Bwaka. Today, right after the president launched LTC Mobile, I come back to the president. All that thing I've been doing, that Fitija, that nonsense, I've been very ungrateful. It is a sin, and I pray God forgive me. And now that I know that God has forgiven me, now that God has listen, now that God has forgiven me, you know, I'm going to do all in my power to campaign for Bagubwe, and that is what it is. Come on. So you see,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, Oliver is trying to interpret.
No,
anyway, thank God you are a Methodist, so I understand exactly where you're coming
No,
from.
listen, Alexa.
But
You read that piece of paper.
your interpretation,
You read that piece of paper in standard English. Most of the people who follow this platform, they are educated people, though.
Yeah.
But again, we have our keke men, our men who to the beach, you know, the Riverside Dickinson, the men who can fill the Kupa, the men who in the garage. We got plenty of men. Even I've told garage, I think of men Mohammed. You know, Mohammed from the Muslim clinic garage in Jamaica Road. He's the number one McKinney man that I know in the country. So you see, a lot of people follow the show, and it is important when these kind of things are up for discussion. I break it down so they will understand. So that all that thing Burma is saying, you know, ungratefulness is a sin. People understanding it right, but let that and say the time where I lie on the president say, you know, the president do that one. I was just acting wicked to myself because that the president was maybe my mother was drinking. I started making 1,800. I started getting 100,000 LD. You know, my children were not playing there. I started adding it all. You know, I 2 minutes I was doing. You know, the president was making me a shine. You know, because of freshness, because of ungratefulness today. Alexa, today I ain't got out that job again.
Oh yeah.
Ungratefulness make it. You know, that food not make it in all that Tabata and Fitija. So.
I mean, we're not going to waste any time.
We're done with him.
We just thought to definitely read out
thought to highlight
what he said.
Yeah.
But I hope tomorrow he doesn't change his mind because
I will not be surprised.
I won't be surprised,
Yeah.
Oliver.
I won't be
But it will be
surprised.
a little bit crazier than previous, changes that have already been made.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
hope he doesn't change his mind tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't get up in the morning and then he writes something else talking about how President George wears like this, or the spirit
Oh, yeah.
has already spoken to him. So I mean, best wishes to you, Boma, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great time. I mean, you're a good friend of ours, and I mean,
No, you're my man.
Sure.
Bonjour, my
Sure.
man. So
Sure.
there is a breaking news in country, and I'm going to read verbatim from the Front Page Africa latest publication.
please do.
Let me say this talk. So in order to see you men go to jail,
I can't imagine what will really happen.
U.S. intention, to carry Cummings to court in the event where Cummings is found guilty, it means Cummings will go to jail.
Right.
Brandon Samaka is on his way to prison. Darius DeLong is being taken to court by Musa Belete, and if DeLong is not able to pay $1.5 million as being demanded by Musa in damages, DeLong too will go to jail. So what's happening? Why are they putting one another in jail? But here is a story from Front Page Africa 33 minutes ago. It says, Supreme Court orders former Defense Minister Browning Samaka jailed for failing to honor the mandate of restitution. Details loading. This is from Front Page Africa. This is a publication from Front Page Africa. This is not Freedom Radio publication. All of you seen it? Those of you online, you seen it? This is Front Page Africa's publication. If you're online, you can see it. Good. Okay, so with that said, okay, somebody said Bama is a prodigal son. Your business.
He wants to return. No one has a problem with
It
that.
is your business. So here's the issue, right? The Supreme Court today issued a ruling, and I hope my eyes will do justice to me because this
Well, I hope so.
this thing is blurred. But I hope I'm going to get it. Yeah, I think I got good eyes.
So who doesn't have good eyes?
I didn't say that. So it says, in the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, sitting in its October term AD 2021, before His Honor Francis S. Kopor Sr., the Chief Justice, before Her Honor James Eto Wolokoli, Associate Justice, before Her Honor Siane A. Yeni G.O., Associate Justice, before His Honor Joseph N. Nangbe, Associate Justice, before His Honor Yusuf D. Kaba, Associate Justice, the Republic of Liberia, by and through the Ministry of Justice of the City of Monrovia, Liberia, the informant, versus His Honor A. Blamo Dixon, resident Saku George, criminal Code C. Who's that? Okay. Criminal Code C, Temple of Justice, City of Monrovia, Liberia, first respondent. And Brownie J. Samoka, Joseph Johnson, and James Newman Doko of the City of Monrovia, County of Montserrado, Republic of Liberia, second respondent. Growing out of the case. And there's a point where A.B. Gosling will have to call in the show after our Freedom reading. So A.B., if you are listening, you are the legal man at Freedom Radio. You will have to call when I get you reading this. So you will do your initial interpretation of this identical ruling before we jump into our political analysis. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So growing out of the case, Brownie J. Samoka, Joseph Johnson, and James Newman Doko of the City of Monrovia, County of Montserrado, Republic of Liberia, appellants, versus the Republic of Liberia, by and through the Armed Forces of Liberia and through the Ministry of Justice, also the City of Monrovia, Liberia, appellee. Yeah. So we move. We move to judgment. When this case was called for hearing, Councillor Seman Serena Sifos, the Solicitor General, the Ministry of Justice, Republic of Liberia, appealed for the informant Councillor G. Rufus Sai and Augustine C. Faya appear for the respondents. Having carefully examined the facts contained in the records, oh my God. Let me try to get it from the soft copy. It is very blurred. I don't want to make any mistake in reading this. I don't want to make any mistake in reading this piece. So let me see. Okay, so it is listen to the arguments on both sides and consider the evidence and the laws relevant thereto. It is hereby adjudged that the law provides that where criminal defendants are jointly adjudged guilty of a crime, fellow Liberians, are you listening? That the law provides, that the law of Liberia provides that where criminal defendants are jointly adjudged guilty of a crime, they are together considered collectively responsible for any fine and or penalty until the judgment is fully satisfied. Let me reread this one. Let me reread the judgment of the first paragraph in this judgment. That the law provides that where criminal defendants are jointly adjudged guilty of a crime, they are together considered collectively responsible for any fine and or penalty until the judgment is fully satisfied. So it means if Alessa and I were accused of stealing one microphone, we'll sell it, and we'll go to court, they say that true, that we don't want to steal it. They said that we don't want to steal it, and they sent us to court. It was going to pay the microphone at $1,000. It was going to pay 500. Once we were adjudged guilty, as a team, it means when I get my $500, and let's say I get $500, I am still not free of that verdict because my 500 can pay for the microphone. Two of us jointly could not have to steal the microphone and sell it. So if we had to pay for it, we should be able to pay for it on time because the complainant want their microphone. They don't want it in segment. So AB will get the legal clarity, but that's my basic understanding of what this paragraph is. That Judge A. Blamo Dixon improperly executed the mandate of the Supreme Court when he relied on the ruling of Judge Yami Kwekwe Gbese, which had been modified by this court and apportioned the judgment amount of US $1,147,656.35 amongst the three respondents in order that each respondent, including the co-respondent, J. Brownie Samuka, pay his share of the 50% of the judgment, a sum which he calculated to be $191,276. The judge is clearly in error, and therefore a bill of information will lie. The judge is clearly in error to have said, unless you alone, you can't pay your money, then you're free. The Supreme Court is saying the judge was in error to have said that to Brownie Samuka, that, oh, my man, you get 5 months, you can't pay your own, you pay your own, if you're free. No, you guys were jointly charged, you were jointly, judged, and a guilty was jointly handed down on you guys. So Supreme Court is saying the judge was in error and the Bureau of Information will lie. That given the clear language of the February 8, 2021 opinion and judgment of the Supreme Court regarding the joint liability and restituting the judgment amount, the payment by co-respondent Brandon Samakar is in an amount of $191,276 $5 cannot be considered compliance with the mandate of the Supreme Court. The $191,000 I was paid, $191,276.05 that was paid by Brandon J. Samakar cannot be considered compliance with the mandate of the Supreme Court. That a bill of information will lie to prevent the inferior court or officer thereof who attempts to execute the mandate of the Supreme Court in an improper manner, or to prevent anyone whomsoever from interfering with the judgment and mandate of the court. Hence, or better still, therefore, this bill of information is the appropriate remedy where it is established that the trial court is improperly executing the mandate judgment of the Supreme Court of Liberia. That the Bill of Information filed on August 8, 2021 by the second respondent requesting for enlargement of time is a plea made in bad faith. You listening to the paragraph? It says that the Bill of Information filed on August 18, 2021 by second respondents. In this case, who are the second respondents? Let's go to the cover page, Alexa. Who are the second respondent in this matter? Second respondent. Who are the second respondent in the matter? We're gonna get it. Just keep looking at. I'll bring you the second respondent in the case. Requesting for enlargement in the time is a plea made in bad faith. I mean, that whole thing what you say, they must extend the time for you to pay the money, is a plea in bad faith. I mean, you're not correcting the time, not even correct. That bad plea, we're not extending no time, but we're not even so to enlarge the time. As one cannot claim satisfaction or reparation, and at the time pray for time to comply. Thus, by virtue of the decision taken by this court in this Bill of Information, the request for enlargement of time has become moot. Legal war has become moot. So we're going to take our time to handle this issue. We're going to take our time to handle this issue. So moot here. So it has no practical relevance. Yeah, it has no practical relevance. So this is the basic definition of moot. That the second respondents, including co-respondent J. Brandon Samakar, having collectively failed to comply with the mandate and judgment of the Supreme Court, that is to pay 50% of the judgment sum in the amount of $573,828.15 within the period of 6 months. The second respondents have breached the conditions of their suspended sentence. Hence, the 2 years of which they were sentenced but suspended is hereby revoked. Let me go back to read it. It said the second respondents, including co-respondent J. Brandon Samakar, having collectively failed. They say Brandon Samakar and other men collectively failed. They refused. They were unable to comply with the mandate and judgment of the Supreme Court, which was to pay 50% of the money they stole from the AFL people, which was in the amount of $573,828.15 within the period of 6 months. The second respondents have breached the conditions of their suspended sentence. Hence, the 2 years of which they were sentenced but suspended is hereby revoked. So when they did the case at the time, there was a verdict given, an initial verdict, and they were sentenced to 2 years with a condition. The condition was, if y'all can just go and bring 50% of the money where you stole, y'all get over $1 million for the army people. But if y'all can bring 50% of that 1 million, which will be up to $573,828.15, if y'all can bring it in 6 more time, then y'all will not go to jail. Alexa, you getting me? If y'all will bring the money y'all will bring 50% of the total money where y'all took from the army people, if y'all can bring it in 6 months time, you will not go to jail. So the court is saying to you today in this verdict that the second respondent, including co-respondent J. Brandon Somokai, having collectively failed to comply with the mandate and judgment of the Supreme Court, that is to pay 50% of the judgment sum in the amount of US $573,828.15 within the period of 6 months. The second respondents have breached the conditions of their suspended sentence, and therefore the 2 years to which they were sentenced but suspended is hereby revoked. They will now serve 2 years imprisonment and pay the full judgment amount of $1,147,656.35, less the amounts already paid by them. So they will go to jail for 2 years. While they're in jail for 2 years, they will pay the total money where they owe the army people. The first condition was for them to just pay 50%. It says more than maybe when they bring that one. And if they have paid that one, the court will say, okay, let's give you some more time to bring the other one. But the way they refuse to pay the first half, the court is now saying, this time around, you are not going to do any sepe with the people money. You will not do no sepe arrangement. You will not pay in no installment. You will go to jail for 2 years, and within that 2 years, you will pay the total of $1,147,656.35, less the amount already paid by them. So the little one what they've been paying, like Brandon Somoka pay 101,000, Alexa. So you just call it from there. So it means the remaining money. So when you cut 101,000 plus from 1,147,000, stuff, obviously you have, the balance remaining. So that is the balance that they will pay. Upon their failure to pay, they shall remain in prison until the balance is fully liquidated at the rate of US $25 per month. Upon their failure to pay, they shall remain in prison until the balance is fully liquidated at the rate of US $25 per month. Wherefore, and in view of the foregoing, the informant's bill of information is hereby granted. The clerk of this court is ordered to send. Let me go to my phone to get a clearer picture because we just printed this out. Let me go to my phone to get a clearer one. Wherefore, and in view of the foregoing, the informant's bill of information is hereby granted. The clerk of this court is ordered to send a mandate to the trial court to resume jurisdiction over this case and give effect to this judgment. And it is hereby so ordered. It is hereby so ordered. Giving on our hands and seal of the Supreme Court of Liberia, this 27th day of January 2022, Francis S. Kokpo Sr., the Chief Justice, Supreme Court of Liberia. Associate Justice Siane A. Nyeni G. Yo, Supreme Court of Liberia. Associate Justice Joseph N. Nangbe, Supreme Court of Liberia. Associate Justice Yusuf D. Kaba, Supreme Court of Liberia. Note that although Madam Justice James Etta H. Wolokoli is of the view that the respondent's bill of information for enlargement of time is untenable, however, she not having signed the judgment in the case Samoka L.I. Republic of Liberia Supreme Court opinion October 10 of Code AD 2020, out of which the bill of information grows, she also withholds her signature from this judgment. So, Madam James Etta Wolokoli, the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, did not sign this identical judgment. So she abstained from this case. So she didn't sign. But it was signed by Justice Francis Kokpo, Siane A. Yo, Joseph Nangbe, and Judge Yusuf D. Kaba. This is where we are as a country. This is where we are as a country. Yeah, I read the entire judgment, and to a greater extent, the clarity has been made. Our legal man in the building is AB. You know, we're running a BBC kind of broadcaster in this place, where we have the legal correspondent, the legal man, you know, for legal affairs. AB will do it. Yeah, AB is the man for legal affairs. AB will certainly do that. We have our man for sports. You will always do that. We have, you know, our staff for gender affairs. You know, she's always into it. So Alexa will always respond to issues of gender activities. And our staff for political affairs, of course, you know what they will stand when it comes to the political affairs issue. So this is where we are as a country. The Supreme Court has finally handed down their verdict, ordering the trial court to continue with the case in handing down the verdict. In this case, the Supreme Court has mandated the clerk to inform the trial judge to ensure that a final verdict is handed down from the trial court level, and this one you cannot appeal against it, because the Supreme Court is the final arbiter of justice. When the decision is made at the level of the Supreme Court, especially the full bench, that decision is undebatable. There is no way you can run it. There is no way you can appeal against it. It is, and that's why in the concluding statement, in the concluding statement, you know, these are the places I always love to read. In the concluding statement, you will listen and get this one. It said, wherefore, and in view of the foregoing, the informant's bill of information is hereby granted. The clerk of this court is ordered to send a mandate to the trial court to resume jurisdiction over this case and give effect to the judgment, and it is hereby so ordered. It is hereby so ordered that the Supreme Court cannot be appealed against. No. When the Supreme Court says hereby so ordered, it means in the Liberian context, it is final. It's fini. You know, when you cross Aracos and Guinea, it says c'est fini. So this is where we are. I don't know what else to make of this, but in my opinion, this is justice not for the government, but for the ordinary men and women in the armed forces of Liberia. I'm going to act like I didn't see that. This is victory for the men and women in green uniforms with arm and ammunition who swore an oath to protect the territorial bounds of the Republic of Liberia. This is victory for them. Because they are military people, I'm not too sure they will be celebrating in the barracks. But deep down in the emotional side of them, they are rejoicing because this is victory for them. Imagine people who were trained to hold guns to defend the territory of the country will get involved into a scheme that will save some money from them, from their monthly earnings to go towards their pension and whatever the case is. They're going to save in whatever initiative, and only for us to realize that that was a pure fiasco on the part of the Ministry of National Defense at the time under Brownie J. Samakai's watch. To them, this judgment is a victory. To them, this is freedom. In their opinion, this will serve as a deterrent. It is a wonderful thing that the justice system of our country is growing to such a level where these things will be done in the open. Thankfully, the former Minister of Defense was sent to prison with his co-respondents and whatever the case is for 2 years. It is my opinion that they will be able to pay the money in 2 years. I mean, I just hope that he will be able to pay the money in 2 years with the other guys. And in fact, the reason why he's going to jail today, right, Alexa? The reason why, you know, a co-respondent, Samakai and his colleagues will go to jail is because his other colleagues were not able to pay back their own portion of the initial 50% that was required. The court said, look, you're already guilty. The total money I get for the country, that 1 million, what is it? Let me get a figure correctly. I don't want to miss anything here. I don't want to miss any statement here. Right? Yeah. Where is it? Where is the concluding verdict? Let's get it correct. Yeah, 1,147,000. Yeah, I have it. And it's not going to go far from me anymore. 1,147,000 plus US dollars they had for the army people, and by extension, the government of Liberia. So the court said, you know, almost 6, 7, 8 months, more than that ago, the court said, look, see, you guys are already guilty. By right, you're supposed to go to jail for 2 years. No. You're supposed to go to jail for 2 years. But because of some dispensation we want to give, and whatever the case, we will tell you to use 6 months and get off 50% of the money where you owe. See, you're supposed to go to jail, but now we put you in jail. We want you take 6 months, go hustle, and bring 50% of the money. See, all of you were jointly charged. It means whatever fine, whatever verdict, you guys will jointly serve it. Because you are jointly charged, you are jointly tried. I mean, you are jointly tried, you are jointly charged. That's why sometimes it's important to ask for separate trial. Your lawyer should ask for separate trial. Like when last time I said Konab, we set a station microphone, when send someone go arrest her, in care of the police station, in care of the court. If I get lawyer say, hey, I want to do separate trial. So when I go and I plead guilty, I say, yeah, that's true. But if they don't set the microphone, I eat father from there. I can pay the father because unless I pass, you eat now the father. And you know, if the court can grant out that separate trial, so it means by the time they hand down the verdict and in the event when they say I'm gonna pay back, I just go get my nickel, I pay my own feeling. When she didn't pay on the father at her business. But the trial was done in such a way that it was a joint trial and the verdict was given down jointly. And when you read the first paragraph in the ruling, the judges made it clear. What's the first paragraph? Where's the first paragraph in the reading? In the ruling? Oh, what's the first paragraph? What is the first paragraph? Is it the first? Yeah, this is it. So the first paragraph was clear. Alexa, it said when this case was called for hearing. Okay. Okay, yeah. So here is the first paragraph in their judgment. It says that the law provides that where criminal defendants are jointly adjudged for a crime, they are together. Where they are jointly adjudged for a crime, where they say, all of you are jointly guilty of this thing, it means you are together. Consider collectively responsible for any fine, penalty, until the judgment is fully satisfied. So that's why it is. So that's how they told them, say, okay, all of y'all now, y'all go hustle and bring 500,000 plus and bring it. When you bring 500,000 plus, they will know what we own. They will go, at least we can say, and say, okay, since they're already complying, back in the 2 years, you're going to bring another one. But when they went, Bernie Smoker understood that whole value to be go and bring your own amount what you take from there. So he went and brought one another 1,000 with the notion that the other guys will also go and bring the remaining money. When he brought your own, the other guys could not bring their own. Alexa, this is the case. When he brought your own portion, Bernie Smoker brought your own portion, the other guys were able to bring their own portion of the money. And so later on, one of the guys requested that the court gave him extra time beyond the 6 months that was requested, that was given. He said he needed extra time to do. The court said, no, we're not giving you no extra time. We gave you 6 months for you to hustle. We're not giving no extra time. When the 6 months finish. So they were unable to pay, and now I make it, even though Bernie Smoker may attempt to pay, but his attempt is not enough because he was jointly adjudged by the court. A judgment was given from a collective perspective, not on an individual basis. It is a sad thing for his friends, his loved ones, and all of those who are involved in this case. But on the side of national, history and whatever it is, this is justice for the country. What I think and I pray for is for all of them, all of the guys who are implicated, to be able to rally some of their assets, sell some things that they have if they can, raise some money, if they can pool some of their properties, somewhere, somehow they can get some money and pay that into being in jail for 2 years as they record. And before I submit to Alexa and we take calls, Alexa, when this case, as was mandated by the Supreme Court, when the trial court finally handed down that verdict by implementing this ruling, automatically it means Bernie Smoker is a final convict. It means he's a convict. In fact, by this trial alone, he's a convicted criminal. By this ruling, this whole ruling alone from the Supreme Court, by this ruling alone from the Supreme Court, it means Bernie Smoker and the co-defendants are convicted criminals. The long type of criminal, you must have gone through trial. You must have had a chance to submit your evidence to get the chance to defend yourself. You must have been heard in court pleading guilty or not. Judgment should be made. It is upon the judgment, the preliminary court or judge will render judgment. When you're not satisfied, you go to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court final decision, if it is against you, it means you are now a convict. No, you are not a criminal. Clear, until you can serve your sentence. And when you serve your sentence, you are a former convict. It's sad. It's very sad. So we hope he will be able to pay the money. But as it stands, the law says he's going to go to court for 2 years. And in that 2 years, in that 50%, all of them, he will go to jail, for 2 years. All of them will have to rally and pay the money. Now, once you are a convicted criminal, and you are serving your jail term or whatever the penalty is, it means at the Liberian legislature, there is going to be a vacancy. Because the senator cannot be in jail. When the senator is in jail, he is not sick. It means he's a criminal. He has committed a crime against the state. And according to some of the rules in the legislature, he or she is not qualified to be a legislator. So I'm not going to be surprised in the coming days when the pro tem of the Senate or the presiding officer, will be informed through the clerk of court. I mean, through the secretary of the Senate, to declare that a position is vacant and we could be going back to Lofa County for by-elections. That is my little understanding of what it is. I stand to be corrected on that, but that is where I think, from my political prediction, that is where I think it is going to. It is going to lead us to, and there could be legal backing to what I just said. I may not be exact on the legal citations, but this is an unprecedented case, and we use the basic legal, indicators to derive at our conclusion. But it is sad that an honorable man, or somebody who is supposed to be an honorable man who served this country at the ministerial level, will go down this way. This should send a clear message. I repeat, this should send a clear message to all of those who are in government today. Brani Samaka is a former government official under the Joe Baka regime. You know the part of Joe Baka administration, Alexa? Today, he's been nailed for stealing military people money, army people money, misapplying it. He's going to jail. If you're in government today, you're a minister, you're a director, you're a head of one agency, you are a head of some public corporation, and you think you're on holiday, you think you're doing some fitty job somewhere and nobody looking at you, the next government, or even this government, when you are caught, just know you will face similar fate. So before you celebrate, think about some of the nasty things you're doing. Before you think this is a political celebration or whatever the case is, think about exactly some of the stuff you're into. Because most of you are too good at running with or making these kind of stories to go viral. You were so much into it. You will overly, sensationalize this thing to the extent that you won't buy the case. Deep down, the only difference between you and some guy is because you are not caught yet.
Right.
And I'm saying to you, you know yourselves. All of you know yourselves. Those of you who are involved. A day of reckoning is coming. A day is coming where you too will be subjected to the same fate of Brani Samaka, because once you steal from the people of Liberia, there is going to be a day where you will be made to account for your stewardship. So like we will always reference our old parable. The falling of the dry leaves. No, it should not be only something you will celebrate, but it should serve as a warning to the leaves that think are fresh and shaky and bluffing. One day, you too people will sit down and watch you going down. Today is Samukai and co-defendants. They will go to jail. They will sleep in South Beach for stealing the people money. Tomorrow, if you are caught, oh yes, you too. You too. Whoever you are not bigger than the laws of Liberia. I believe when Samukai was minister in this country under the Baka administration, he thought he was that untouchable individual who nobody could touch, right? Everybody would think about that. I want to believe so. I want to believe that he felt so connected to the power that be, to the extent that they were brave enough to interfere. They were brave enough to manipulate the finances of men and women holding guns. Today, that proximity to power is no longer there. Justice has woken up. Justice is now standing in the face of them to remind them of their wickedness against poor people in the uniforms. Don't think you are so close to the power that be today. Don't think you are so close to the power that be that you cannot be touched tomorrow. That you cannot even be touched by the very power today. I mean, you saw National Housing Authority, right?
Oh yeah.
The people under the same government were sent to court. Fortunately for them, they went to court and they were, they were acquitted. There are other investigative cases currently on the docket. There are other other reports. And like the case of Bernie Samaka, we are going to be demanding going forward. Alexa, we will be demanding going forward. The case that has to do with the General Auditing Commission and Water and Sewer, with the issue of the Managing Director, Duana Kamara, that case has to be opened up. It has to be tried. It has to go to court. We should know the outcome. The Minister of Agriculture recently admitted to giving herself contract. That is conflict of interest. She needs to be investigated. She should be subjected to the legal system. She should be tried. She should be tested. She should go to court. A verdict should be handed down. This will mean independent justice. This will mean justice without any link. And this will be fairness. Today, Samaka is going to pay for his action against the Republic. There seem today there are reports to indicate that people in the administration, specifically the head of Water and Sewer and the head of Agriculture, are on record. GSC NAP, Water and Sewer head, and the Agriculture Minister herself admitted to the Liberian Senate, which is an evidence. She was on an oath though, and there are reports to show why she gave her own company, her own personal agricultural company contracts. I'm saying that because our concern and our own opinion on this platform is not about a political institution. It's about wanting the country to be on the right trajectory. If an opposition leader who was a former official in the government is corrupt and caught in corruption and is being punished, similar things should be applied to whoever is in the current administration, whether you're from the ruling party or you were a commentator in the government. You too should be made to account for your stewardship, especially when there are tangible records being generated by anti-graft institutions against you for corruption. This is governance for me. This is good governance for me. This is justice for me. That is what I will support. No. I'm clear about it. That is what I will support. We are still opening our eyes and our ears are still open on the issue with the National Elections Commission head. There is a case between she and the LCC where she was able to rent materials that were far less expensive than what she allotted, according to the LCC report. That case, I don't know where it is, but those are cases we will be on the back of the government to ensure that they are brought to logical conclusion and justice is done in those instances, so that justice cannot be seen as one-sided in the Republic. No. That will not be justice for some of us. And so Samaka will go to jail with her respondents, co-defendants, whatever it is. AB will do all of the legal issue, face the issue. So you come to face the issue, you hear other. I'm concerned about the political side of things, right? So when this whole issue is over, we will want to be looking into other corrupt cases that we have on our dockets. Let's keep printing. Let's keep making sure that people be made to account, because the reason why this country is not developed, before I submit to a brilliant Alexa, is because people have adopted the tendency of always stealing from the country with the notion of nothing will happen. We have been passing budgets since Liberia was a kid. Since this country was 2 years, we've been passing budget. Today we are 175 years old. July 26, we 175. You better have business. What I was 176, anything you want to do with 200 a year, I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for the red number, because the number is nonsense to me. Other countries not even real 100 years, they are better off than where we are. But I'm saying to me, we are underdeveloped. We are not even close to developing nation because of the tendency of people believing that they can steal and go with impunity. If these kinds of things start to happen, Samaka is going to be locking it down here, Galley Street, very soon. In South Beach, where he's going to be deprived of his kids. I mean, you will not see them at will. He's a family man. Where you will not be having the chance to go to video clubs, not video clubs, but go to cinema, casinos, and other places, travel around the world within a particular period of time. This will send a message to other people who may want to get involved with criminality, who are into criminality, and who have some criminal issues in their closet. And when these things are done, the deterrence will not only save government of resources, but it will also move the country forward, because stolen money will go to the right places to do the right things for the people of the country. I'm going to submit. I'm not talking more on this issue. Right after Alexa, we take calls. Then right after Alexa, we take calls. We want to take sufficient calls on this issue today. Yeah.
Well, we're not legal practitioners. So, like Oliver said, we're going to leave the liquor interpretation to AB for the face the issue tonight, because he has vast knowledge on all of these legal happenings right now. So he will be the one to interpret whatever that is written right here for you. I mean, legally.
Mhm.
So I would like to start by saying, number one, Oliver, I feel sorry for Lothians, especially the people of Lofa County, where he's supposed to be representing, a lot of people from that angle. And I think it is due to his own, his own negligence. That's one of the reasons today he has been sent to jail. And I'm not saying this to me, well, I'm trying to definitely judge Bernie Samuka. He has already been judged by the Supreme Court, and right now he's already been named a convicted criminal. This is something we've been saying about, I don't know how many months ago, but when we just had this on our desk, a few months ago, we had a lot to say about it. By that time, Bernie Samuka and his own deputies, they had a time frame of 6 good months. And at that time, they had a lot of time. They had a chance to, restitute exactly whatever that was taken. And at that time, they were given, or privileged Oliver to pay about 50% of the total amount owed. But I think one of the reasons why they really did not take it seriously is because they have already had a preconceived mind that the whole justice system is already this way, and they were reluctant enough to say nothing is going to happen. Because number one, we have people from the CPP, we have people from the other angle saying, this case, the government is just trying to do this to Bernie Samuka because they don't want him to represent the people of Lofa County. Other people, on the other hand, said, these people are just trying to implicate Bernie Samuka because he's not the only government official, who has been, implicated in corruption cases, or someone who has, stolen money that was intended for a lot of people. Imagine you have the army people who have over the time served this country, people who have sacrificed their lives over and over. Some people lost their lives along the way, and then this really happened at that point. So that was one of the major reasons why a lot of people did not really take this way more seriously. And it was like really passing around all over, circulating on all the social media platforms, all radio stations. News outlets really talked about this issue of Bernie Samuka. And at that time, we have people saying, if Bernie Samuka is not certificated, there will be unspecified actions. People said that. We equally had some people from Lofa County who had to put devil outside. All those things, I think they contributed to exactly this. At a point, we equally have people from Lofa saying they're trying to, raise funds to help Bernie Samuka restitute this whole fund that, was taken away about years ago. This is one of the major reasons Bernie Samuka was reluctant enough. And Oliver read clearly, Bernie Samuka was not the only person who was taken to court. He had a couple of people with him, so definitely had an agreement that the case in court, they had to do it together. He did not say, well, I don't want to be a part of this. I already know what I took at a point, and now I already have my portion of it, so I want to pay my portion. I don't want to be joined with Oliver. I don't want to be joined with Alexa. But then he agreed to, join whoever that was involved, and he had to work on the case together. At the end of the day, I won't owe you $50. Oliver and I won't owe you $50, and you are expecting your $50 after a week. So I can't bring half to you. Oliver cannot bring half to you. We have to get to you together. So definitely have to bring $25. Oliver equally has to bring $25. And at the end of the day, we have already completed your payment and we're free. That was the case, but it did not work in Bernie Samuka's favor because he individually paid his own amount of money that was needed at a point, and then he had his own people who did not pay. So at the end of the day, they were all caught in a net, And today, this is exactly where they are. So just imagine we had a time frame of 6 months, and we kept ringing bells over and over and over and over again. After this, if you do not really pay within the time frame, you have an ultimatum of 6 months. If you do not pay, definitely you will have to go to jail. And people said, no, you're just saying anything, man. What's so much people not put in jail? They just doing anything because this, because that. All those things. People said it. At the end of the day, we saw exactly what happened at Francis Couple House, right? We saw exactly what happened. Couple of actions were done in this country, and today we don't know exactly who were responsible for it. And we have more alien making all sort of statements around here. Some of them were taking up, to the national or the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. All those things were discussed. People still did not take it seriously. According to them, we have the laws in this country, but then since Brandon Samuka is from the opposition community, definitely the government was doing this on purpose. At the end of the day, same people who condemned the laws, they did not really want the law to take its course. And today, the law has already taken its course, not because they were against Brandon Samuka, but because Brandon Samuka, he already failed to comply with the court's mandate to pay 50% of the whole amount they owe within 6 good months. It did not work out. And today he has been sent to jail for 2 good years, right, Oliver? And here's the thing. 2 years, right? And there are still conditions attached to 2 years. You're in prison for 2 years. You still have to pay this money, but then you're not paying 50% as you were given the privilege to do first. Now you have to pay 100% of the money. If you already paid a portion of it, I mean, that is like, against it. So definitely if you paid $100 and some more $1,000, I mean, that is already subtracted from it. So you will have to keep paying whatever balance you have now to reach the full amount of money that you're supposed to pay. So this is like 100% clear. 100% clear. Like I said, AB will definitely explain better to you on the legal aspect because he understands.
Oh yeah, you're kind of class today.
You guys have to get to class sooner today.
Yeah,
8 o'clock. So AB will definitely expand on it. But this is exactly where I'm coming because I'm not going to waste any more time on this because I know exactly how I said a lot about Brandon Samuka being a convicted criminal. I know exactly how I elevated this topic from one point to another. I mean, some months back. And people say, oh, you're just trying to say this about Brandon Samuka. Now Brandon Samuka, the only minute that I'm doing won't do that one. That's not the issue. That's exactly not the issue. The point here is there are a couple of people who have definitely done a couple of worse things in this country. But there were different things said and there were different things attached. Brandon Samuka went to court and he has been convicted by, the Supreme Court as a convicted criminal. And we all know the reason behind the conviction. Today, we have a lot of people who are saying Brandon Samuka is going over there due to this, due to that. No, it's 100% clear the reason why he's going there. And this is an issue that has been around for a very long time. Some of you are saying one of the reasons is because Lofa County and the people are trying to, get Lofa County to be on their side. This is not about it. Liberia is a law-abiding country. And I think it doesn't matter exactly who you are. It doesn't matter your position. But whenever you do something wrong, whenever you do something that is against the law, against the state, definitely you have to pay for it. You have to be punished for it. You definitely have to be punished for it. Like now we have the case of Duana Kamara. We have Jenny Millie Cooper right now, where Oliver read a report. And one time, of course, he was suspended on the same corruption practices. Later on, he was reinstated by the president. And now we still have him on a list where
the GSC report.
Yes, GSC report. And if you're going to read that report, trust me, you're going to be so shocked because there are a couple of things in the report that a lot of people don't know out there. And today, this case should serve as a precedent to a lot of you, Duana Kamara, Jelly Millie Cooper, all of you guys out there who are today serving in this government, who are a future of this government. I see you flagging this Brandon Samuka's issue from one end to another. This is not something that you should celebrate as a government official because a lot of you are doing some worse things behind closed doors, but because you have not been reported, you've not been caught, so you think you are an angel. But it doesn't really stop right there. The fact that we have Brandon Samuka today, this is one of the actions that should be a precedent to all of you out there, that you have to do the right thing. Because Brandon Samukai did not really do the right thing back in the days, because he thought, well, no one is going to get back at me. I know exactly who I'm connected to. I know exactly what, who I am. So no matter what happens, nothing is going to really happen to me. I'm not going to go to jail for this. We're just, we're just cruising, and that's it. We're in power. So we know exactly what we're supposed to do. We have influence. That was exactly the case of Brandon Samukai. And today, after so many years, today he's in this position because what exactly he did back in the days, right now, they're all reference points. They're all reference points. Brandon Samukai did not take this money last year. No. We're talking about when he was minister. Minister, that's what we're talking about. So all of you today, you're posting on the social media. I guess you're calling on several platforms saying, oh yeah, the men gone to Jonah. The law finished taking the course. Today we have Brandon Samukai. So you're happy about the law has taken its course. We know exactly how you guys do it. When you are not in the limelight, you have to elevate another person's case, and you be like, yeah, this is exactly what is going on. But when it is your own turn, you try to get connection, and at the end of the day, you don't want to be in the limelight for your own bad things you've already done. This should serve as a serious precedent to you. This should serve as something that will checkmate you, and you go back to your closet and checkmate yourself, because this is not just the first. And now we have a lot of cases already out there. We just have Brandon Samukai's own case right now that has already been concluded, and he has been sent to prison for 2 good years because he has to pay for exactly what he did. You guys have a lot of skeletons in your closet. So you have to go back. Dwana Kamara, the Jelly Millie Cooper, I mean, we know exactly the records, Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
The records are clear.
So we wanted to go to court. They will go to court too. The court will judge them.
They have to go to court.
They will pass a verdict.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So we equally wait on that to happen, because right now, we don't want people thinking our justice system is selective.
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah.
We don't want it.
No.
Because we want people to believe in the justice system. And it is not just something where, since Oliver is from the other side of the river, so he's going to join. Now we have Alexa. So Alexa is already, protected by all of the people around. They have already, put a shield around her. No, that's not exactly what we want. When we're talking about our justice system, we're talking about people believing in our justice system. We're talking about everyone, a person who commits a crime, or a person who is found guilty, that person should be seriously punished. That person should pay exactly for what that person has done. So this is not something that you should celebrate. No, this is not a celebration for you. We understand exactly how happy you guys are over this news. I mean, breaking news from one side, breaking news from this side. It's important to break this news because a lot of people have to understand exactly what went wrong. A lot of people have to understand exactly how it all ended. But in as much as you're breaking this news, you have to be thinking about yourself. You have to be thinking about how you were really, handling your own entity, your head, and you have to really go back to know how you're running your own ministry, because at the end of the day, wherein we have you as one of the persons implicated in any of these major corruption scandals, trust us. Once we know about it, we're definitely going to flag that issue, and we'll call on the government of Liberia again to act in accordance with the law, as they're doing with Brandon Samukai's case, because that's exactly one of the reasons we sit behind these microphones every single day. That's just a part of it. And just another thing. Brandon Samukai, I don't know, we're from the same county, and like I said, I feel sorry for people over there, because you won't be representing wherever you're supposed to be representing.
Yeah, we'll do by election.
yeah. I mean, we'll wait to see exactly what happens after 2 years, because the space is still vacant and we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I guess AD will have to make us understand what happens after 2 years, just in case he's not out, or just in case he has not already paid the 100% of the money that is already owed. So now the issue here is, I know a lot of you who always buy sentiments when we have all of these happenings in our country. I know a lot of you. Just a few months back, we had people at the Capitol building with placards. We had people in Lofa County with several different things saying about, we need our senator, we need this person, and this person is innocent. We don't understand exactly what goes beyond what is said on the physical aspect. We don't understand all of those things. So whenever we have a legal matter, I think it's important that we stay off, whatever that will be happening until it is finalized. And at the end of the day, a verdict is passed, whether your person is guilty or not. and then we can know exactly the decision to make. We can know exactly what to say, because all of the comments, all of the different exchanges we make, I guess it equally influences the case. Yeah, at the end of the day, we will know exactly what to expect, because I mean, I don't know anything about law. So I have Oliver, who is my boss, and he has something he's involved with right now. I'm already emotionally influenced. At the end of the day, I said things not because I know exactly what I'm saying, or not because I understand exactly what I'm saying, but because Oliver is connected to me. So I want to say all of these things to please Oliver. I want to say all of these things because I don't want Oliver to go through any situation that he won't be able to bear, even when Oliver has committed a crime. I think we have to understand this aspect. It is for everyone. We have to understand this aspect. I'm not going to say much to, this whole Bernie Samukas thing, because I know exactly how I say a lot about it. But I hope, however they're going to prison, I hope they can really pay back this money. We're talking about people. Army, the armed forces of Liberia. We're talking about all of these men, brave men, bold men, who have overly sacrificed their lives for this country. And then that happened. You know exactly what that means. It is like one of the saddest things to happen. I don't know why he had to choose the army people money. Maybe because he was the minister of defense, or all that people think, but it's supposed to be even scary. The people in work can get gone. Imagine, like right now, I know exactly they're happy. I know their wives are happy, but we won't see it on their faces because we know what they are into. So they're not going to be jubilating all around the place for all to see how happy they are. But I'm sure wherever they are today, they're happy that, of course, justice has been served. They're equally happy that, of course, whatever he owes them, along with his deputies, they're going to pay it in. I guess they will benefit from that. So I'm not going to say any more on this issue. Just listen to Face the Issue tonight with AB, and you're going to get all of the legal interpretations to exactly what Oliver read earlier on.
Okay. So our concern is the political aspect of it. This should be an issue of justice. It should serve as an eye-opener, and it should also serve as a precedent. Better still, a warning shot to some of these the silent and secret criminals we have in the corridors of power. And I say this to me, the warning of the dry, they say the falling of the dry leaf is the warning to the young ones. So continue doing what you're doing. But in the coming days, the water and sewer corruption, the agriculture ministry corruption, the National Elections Commission corruption will not go under the sleeves. Definitely. We will talk about it because we need corruption to be tackled from a holistic perspective. That is justice, in my opinion. 086 500 104, 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 are the numbers to join the conversation here on 87.9. Alexa will pin the number on Facebook, the WhatsApp number, 086 500 104. I repeat, 086 500 104 is the number for those of you from the international line. For all of you in Liberia, you can join us on 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 to be a part of the conversation. Let's take the first batch of calls. Let's take the first person. Yes, let's squeeze in this person. Go ahead. Your name and where do you join us from?
Yeah, kind. My name is Amos Morris, and I join you guys from Ohio.
Ohio, the U.S. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind. Thank you guys for this discussion, because this is an eye-opener for we all Liberians. We keep saying this, and people are taking it for joke. The case right now with Cummings and that of Benedict Ure in a court, Cummings team, they are taking it for joke. But these lawyers are continuing to talk. These judges now know that the prosperity of Liberia go first, but also they have a key role to play in the prosperity of Liberia. So they will do everything not to jeopardize their own lives and the lives of the millions of Liberian people. Like you guys said, past government officials, even current government officials, think that they can do things and they will walk away scot-free. No. Thank God for the leader that Liberia now have. This man's record is out there. This man's character is out there. He had built his character before coming to government. I don't think President Weah will want to sit there to allow one junkie to come tell his character. I don't think so. That's why I continue to tell people, the man you're working with, if you know him, you will be straight like a needle. Because President Weah would not jeopardize the lives of the Liberian people for one friend. You can be a friend, but when it comes to the law, you will be mute, like he's doing right now, and people thinking his salary is into the justice system. No, he had no fish to fry in it. That's why he allowing the justice system to work for the people. So I just want to continue to commend you guys, because every day you guys come up with a discussion. You guys, explain it to the letter. There is no way the devil will come from hell and say what you guys explaining on the radio does not make sense.
Okay, thank you.
There's no way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We leave you right there. Let's take another caller from the international line. Let's take this person. Go ahead. Your name and where do you join us from? Don't listen to the radio. Listen to your phone. Cut the radio off. Listen to your phone.
Okay, sir. Thank you. My name is Anthony Saki, from Qatar.
Anthony from Qatar. Go ahead.
Yes, this afternoon, when I listen to you giving learning your program for the day, sometimes you can do things like that football game with Wednesday. You're so interesting, you're so crafty, and you're ready. To be fair, you know your job. You really know your job to the extent that we can't even want to stop. Someone can't even want to stop listening to you. Now, if you listen to the news a few days from Burkina Faso, the military just took over the president. The same thing happened in Guinea. If you take a survey now in most especially in West Africa, you see these things happening. Most of the problem in Africa or in West Africa can be caused by one. It can be caused by one single person.
Mm-hmm.
One single person. I think now Bonnie Samuka and the other two persons did. Do you know what embarrassment that situation going to cause on our transitional process during the inauguration? Do you know the threatening statement or remark the AFL or coming? Do you know what action AFL coming with? And you just left, and the people demand that they must get their money before any get their power over. Do you know what embarrassment are going to cost the state?
Thank you.
Out of just 30% action.
Thank you. I'll leave you and take this other person. Go ahead. Your name and where you join us from. Hello. Michael Tippison, we're struggling to get you. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Okay. We're not getting Tippison. Tell Tippison to call the. Yeah, Tippison, you call the other line. Michael Tippison from the United States is interested in calling, but let's take this other caller quickly. Hello, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Fine. Let me just introduce to a letter. Andrew Moses is my name.
Go ahead, Andrew.
And I phone in on the office with the letter line. Since for the Supreme Court were able to give Bonnie Samuka the Boris Johnson today. I understand that other people are celebrating because Bonnie Samuka were able to receive the Boris Johnson. Marceli is sitting our comfortable room. Bonnie Samuka is going to jail. President Weah will be relaxing tomorrow, but some of y'all will be going to jail too. So I hope they should serve as a deterrent. I hope they should be a caveat for most of you who are gathering government funds today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll leave you. Let's take this person. Go ahead. Hello.
Good afternoon, Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Tippison. How are you?
Marco Do Tippison. That's how people know you to be on radio.
Well, I just want to firstly thank you and your co-host. I think today's explanation was very brilliant. Liberia is a country of law, and there must be precedents so that people who occupy public offices will know that it's not about getting rich overnight. It's not about taking what is not theirs, but rather do what is just and fair.
Okay.
We look forward to the end of this matter. I know it's going to be a huge political blow, but it's not about politics. The government should stand strong to know that whatever that is going to come forth after this particular ruling, they should be ready to face it. But before I leave the line, what has been done today those who are currently in public offices and they think that is a way that they will use it for themselves and grow family wealth, they need to know that there is a precedent already with Bernie Samuka. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Michael Doe Tevis, informally of Doe community, currently in the U.S. Let's take this other person. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Morning, Oliver Khan, and morning, Princess. I'm Richard Yossi, and I call from Australia.
Richard from Australia. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for having me this morning. You know, Oliver, I always like to listen to you and Princess in the morning. Like it's 3 a.m. in the morning, but I always made it my duty to wake up just to listen to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Like my comrade Michael Doe Tevis just said, those in government today should not take this as a victory. Let them wash up whatever they are doing, because this president is about to transform Liberia for the better. Those who are in the habit of taking government money and taking things to just go free, the same way this government is chastising other people, tomorrow the government will come, will chastise them as they are in power. So let this serve as a warning to every government official that when you are in government, that's a public office, you are there to serve the people and not to enrich yourself. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you and take this other international caller who is on the line. Yeah, 2 million international concerns. Let's take this other person. Hello, where do you join us from?
I'm calling from Kentucky, and my name is Andrew Callon. Hey, Oliver.
Andrew Callon from Kentucky, the U.S. Go ahead, Callon.
Yeah, Oliver and Princess, how you doing? And thank you for this topic. I think you have already said everything that needs to be said. You know, Jawia would be one of the best presidents that Liberia ever had. You know, Liberia previous president never had the balls or the guts to go through with corruption or to hold anybody accountable for their actions. I think this is a good precedent, and this will be a deterrent to all of people that serve in government, because I hope they keep it at their back of their mind. Today is Bernie Samuka, but this can be me. Like the guy that you talking about water and civil and the lady of agriculture ministry, they need to start thinking. Say, you know what? One day, this is 4 years and Bernie Samuka is going to jail for it, or his pain for what he did 6 or 10 years back. So they should start me thinking, say, you know, one day I'll be accountable for what I did at my ministry or my corporation or whatever. And Jawia, you know, I think he's doing the right thing. We'll come through with, you know, just stay out of the legal system. If somebody is held liable for corruption, other person face the law. And not interfere or not, you know, not try to defend their corrupt, their bad behavior, because they only pity you bad. And Oliver, you know, yesterday you said something, I already called you to talk. I think if Jawia go through with that development project, I think it was 53 projects that you listed.
Oh yeah, 53 projects through Pepsi Yakes list.
Yes. If he accomplished those development amendment or the budget is passed for that, so Jawia would be one of the best. I tell all my friends in Kentucky, in Logo, I said the little development Jawia is doing. If Liberia president or president accept in Liberia have done little or little, Liberia will be developed by now. But everybody they never take, you know, his approach. You can say whatever you want to say about him, but the little development that he did or the real thing that he accomplished. If we have people doing a president, let just be for real. If Thatcher did it or any similar stuff like that, you know how many infrastructure or buildings that we can be talking about? But nobody care about the real people or the poor people. All of them only after their package. But you know, I think you said it right. This will be a deterrent to a lot of people. A lot of people, their hair is black. But then Bernie Samuka go to jail for this 2 or 3 years or whatever. If even at one day said, then he just go to jail because he was corrupt. You know, some people can say, oh, if you commit crime against the state, we'll follow through on it. And thank you for the opportunity, man.
Well, okay, we take another caller. Hello.
Good morning. I'm sorry. Good afternoon.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. This is David King. I join you for resident. You see, thankfully, Samuka is not going, but there should be a warning to our own government official. There are a lot of other reports out there. The Dwana Kamara case for the water and soil. I think that case need to be looking at also. We need to look at National Election Commission case. We need to look at the Ministry of Agriculture. And we need to also bring back the Bill Traore and that of Kanda Bagbala case from the Bikana saga. These are cases that we need to look at holistically in order to fight corruption. Because our record in fighting corruption in this government, it is not that unfavorable. So this is the first corruption trial that people are not going to, somebody going to jail now together with other people who conspire with him. So we should start to clean in-house to make this thing to be holistic so that the international community can feel, you know, more the president on the right trajectory of bringing development to our country. The only way we can source the resources out there to do this development is when we are very much accountable for what we get from the international community.
I agree.
But if we just sit there and people will steal money and let them go scot free, then we're going nowhere with development. So for President, we are legacy to be remembered in this country for being a developmental president. Other leaders will come in here, for example, let us don't corrupt officials, let us bring them to book and let it be trial with all fear or favor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll leave you and take this other person quickly. Hello, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is Eddie P from Chicago Factory, member of the Respond and Defend team.
Go ahead.
No, I think justice are revealed in our country today. We should not celebrate you because it's Bernie Samuka. They're all saying those that in government now, they need to wash up. The water and sewer issue too. We need to come on that guy very, very seriously too because we need to fight corruption in this country. Our people in their property, if we can fight corruption to let our people go, I think they will be happy. But last year, people dropping the lamb. I think we should guard the board on everything because it's possible now. Bernie Samuka can escape.
We leave you and take the other person. He's not escaping anyway. Let's take the person. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Oliver. I many people Macaulay. It's the last data for one position now most of our country of the national reform and defense.
Go ahead, Macaulay. Go ahead. No time for all of those issues.
So you see, in this country, some of us we believe in President Weah. So that's why we.
This thing has nothing to do. I mean, people should be about the issues. Go. Let's take the other person. Hello.
Thank you, my dear friend. Let me say a pleasant greeting to you, greeting to Alexa.
Go ahead.
My name is Hussein Kew, and I phone in from District 2 in Japan.
Go ahead, Hussein.
Okay, let me appreciate you for the energy and the zeal that you have put in reading that entire reading. I hope that you will be encouraged and motivated to do more.
Okay.
But let me say, I want people who respect the rule of law. Regardless of all being critical about government and individuals, we should be respectful of the rule of law. Let me say bravo to the Supreme Court of the social media because some of us we believe in the wisdom of the Supreme Court of Liberia. And our own person, being from a Muslim background, we don't want to see anyone involved into corruption. And this is why we teach our children at home to be, morally disciplined. But seriously, I hope this is a precedent case. Mind you, there are officials in this government who have not declared or published the assets. I'm quoting all 1 million Liberians. If today anyone is broke, it should not be on sentiment. It should be party line. It should be done in accordance with the law.
And that's and Hussein, that's what we are calling for. You heard me say that, right?
Definitely, this is what I appreciate you for that, right?
Thank you.
Because there are people today who will say president to the Supreme Court, but mind you, when you stay on the outside, they bring you okay, 2 changes, the other man on opposition side. I hope you will not bring you okay tomorrow. When Donald come out, in the boat.
My man, in fact, I'm leading the fight to ensure Donald Kamara will save his name or he go to jail or pay the people money, whatever the case is. Agriculture Minister Jenny Miller Cooper too will have to account for giving her brother contract. That's conflict of interest for also giving. I mean, that's not conflict of interest, but that's nepotism, and at the same time giving her own NGO, her own agricultural company contract. That's conflict of interest. We're going to be on those issues, my brother.
Thank you, KK. Thank you for the conversation. I hope you can keep it in my life. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you. We leave you and take the other person. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Hello, okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. The how you doing, Mandela?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay. What we say, KK, this is my CC. I'm calling from Biara.
Go ahead, ma'am.
What I want to say, let me say thank you first of all for the supplement discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to say to the Labrador people and the Chief Justice, he never did well for the Labrador people.
Why?
You say being this case after a long time, 1 year now, the case are going on.
That's how cases are.
Process.
That's a litigational process. You don't have to rush it so that you don't make error.
Yeah.
Okay, so because election go cross here by now, I'm talking about now, so the different thing that I'm going to go devil or intern. That's a one case. And the some case that she gave certificate of go and take the seat. They will not go for our country. When something happen, they want to do different thing in the country. So the people are rejoicing today. That better some car go to jail, we are being go to jail. But that water is sworn there. That water is sworn there, and I empty airport. I'm interested in that case. Now find the scene. They will not do pick and choose in the justice system. They want to pick and choose. They all follow and they not guilty. So what's why I'm guilty when they hide the country? They be seized.
Oh yeah, I support you.
They be seized.
Thank you very much.
They go to jail and tell them you know they be passing right in front of us. When they talk, they don't go to jail. They don't go to be seized.
Thank you.
They have business when they be seized.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We leave you. We take this other person. Liberians are making their input. Hello, go ahead.
Hello.
Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Margie was at the story from
Dole community. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you, Chief. Isaac, you left the line. It is very sad. But let's take more of the calls here on 87.9. For those of you from the international line, we told you again, join us on +231 86 500 104 +231 86 500 104 to be a part of the conversation. Brandon Samaka and co-defendants are on the way to South Beach for 2 years imprisonment, until they can settle their obligation of a little over $1,147,000 United States dollars. This person, hello.
Yes, hello.
Your name and where do you join us from, sir?
This is William Akwi calling from Kesselly Boulevard.
Kesselly Boulevard, District 12. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
The issue of Samuka is not the issue of church we are. It's the issue of justice.
Mm-hmm.
We are celebrating today. We should all remember, not because we are physicians, we should advise our brothers and sisters who are in government.
That's what I keep telling them. That's what we're telling them, my brother.
Tomorrow, the same road like him walking.
Him bamboo, and we'll be at the Senator jail the same way. Yeah.
We are happy, but we don't want for this to be a selective justice. Case back on the input.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I'll leave you and take this other person. You didn't know where you join us from. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Hello.
Yeah. This is Emmanuel Richardson, and I joined the conversation for Upper Carwell.
Go ahead, Richardson.
And today justice has prevailed. And what happened to Samuka, I think, is a clear message out there that our judging system, cannot be intimidated. Honestly, if it was wrong, you have to pay the consequence.
Yeah, once you do wrong.
Yeah. Nobody should come here, people were trying to put fear, in the end. The reason why so many cases take long time, court matter is not just 1 or 2 days. So we want to say thanks to the court and it's a warning to our brothers within government. You will see that today, Samuka is guilty and I see people jumping all around. Look, the person when you're too blind in the town, when your friend died, don't be happy because you know how to defend your friend. So our friends in government have to be careful and they have to do the right thing because you will get account of the civil state one day. Our Samuka was the longest serving minister in the government. He was so powerful. Today, he has been subdued by the court because he did wrong. So it's a clear indication that our court is okay and we believe that most of the cases at the end will speed it up. Thank you and thank you to the court.
Thank you very much. We leave you and take the other person. Hello.
Yeah, good evening. All about time in your colleague. Go
ahead. Good evening, Chief.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, my name is General. I come from the intellectual part of the community. Normally, I call the sugar for you for today. because of the elaborate, explanation provided on the case of Bernie Samaga that will keep you. However, every other scholar is saying this case about Bernie Samaga is a precedent case, and it's a caveat that every other official serving this government, they will serve in an accurate when you are called to public office. It's not an attempt for you to loot the public funds. It's there that you will serve the country. This is very much okay for this kind of explanation. I'm waiting for EB.
Okay, thank you. Evie is going to come to face the issues. This person, go ahead. Good evening. Let's hear you, sir.
Yes, I am Melvin Boba calling from Istanbul, Turkey.
Istanbul, Turkey. Go ahead, Melvin. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, this news is welcoming. I hear other people talking about other people that will do their own. When people do their own, we reach there. But now, this is a man's own.
Oh, yeah.
The most important thing now, brother, is that this thing that the court say, let the action be taken.
Oh, yeah.
That is the greatest test now. Okay, you already say me will go to jail, but how long will it take? If I was an ordinary man in jail long time. How long is it been running?
No, but listen. The lower court issued their verdict, and Brandon Samaga went to the Supreme Court for what they call, and on the Supreme Court now, finish issuing statement to the lower court telling them that this is our judgment. Let the man go to jail for 2 years, and you are mandated. Not request, you are mandated.
Yeah, brother, Chief, I follow the show from start. Every day I follow your show in Istanbul. Yeah.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, but what I'm saying now, tomorrow morning you will hear when someone got question the vote in Sierra-Leone. You will hear it tomorrow morning. That is the plan. You will hear it tomorrow morning. We know what happened in Liberia. So if the court issue the Supreme Court issue that order, the man stay to the horse. Nobody around the horse. You're not on the horse arrest. No security there. Tomorrow morning you get to the man go say, that one you finish again. You.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's what happened. But if the ordinary man, you must say that to net will arrest her. This particular to net.
So let's see how it's going to end, my brother. Let's see how it's going to end, bro.
See what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, you made a very salient point as well. But let's take the last two calls, then we call your day on this. I think one more call, then we call your day. Your name and where do you join us from? This person. Go ahead quickly. Let's hear you. You're the last person.
Yes. Okay. This is says Rebecca calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead.
The reason why I call in, I just want to tell Liberian people, ain't nobody happy because of Bernie Samaga going to jail. But justice prevail in our country is what we are talking about. And to let them know it's not president we are. So nobody should press president we are. It's the justice system. It's the justice system. So it will be justice that will be done to all men. Even my president that I lost, so my president, where if he do anything, he will go to court. When he found guilty, the same thing will happen to him. That I want to tell our people. So nobody must say, President Where is doing it's the justice. It's the justice system that we'll be talking about. So whosoever that person will be, the person will be prosecuted too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And trust me, yeah, we cannot. Alexa, we got to wrap up to go. Let me try to find some kind of music.
Yeah, I hope you do that. But we definitely have to go. And we just said to you again, this is something that we should not really take as a victory. One of the reasons this is going to our government officials. One of the reasons is because today it is Bernie Samaga. Tomorrow you never tell who might be in his space.
Mm-hmm.
We're happy that justice has prevailed, and of course it has been served. And a couple of ordinary Liberians are happy over the fact that this is something that they looked forward to over the months, Oliver, and now it has already ended, and they know exactly what the result is. But to our government officials, this is not a victory for you, and you should not be happy about it. You don't have to go to a club to be happy. You don't have to do this to be happy. You don't have to do whatever to be happy.
I'm not even sure any of them will want to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to do it. You have your own Scarletons in your closet.
And we will dig deeper and expose it.
We already have some of you who are already on the list.
Yeah, GSU already pull you out. LCC pull you out. We're going to expose you and have you handled.
Some of you on the list. So we'll definitely be here to expose whoever that gets involved next. You never tell if that person will be you or that person will equally be your friend. So we have to go on this note.
Okay, so we are here until we go to the weekend's edition. My name is Khan Oliver Kine. Princess Alexa Vanja Coley has been here. If you're in need of a friend,
fire friend like me.
Oh yeah.
If you not want betrayal, fire friend like me.
If you just don't want to have
Friend like me.
any betrayal in your system,
Friend like me.
find Freedom Hub.
If you not want betrayal, fire friend like me. Fire friend like me.
We are the only besties, the besties of the truth of Liberia, the besties who want to find a wonderful country.
Fire friend like me.
Whoever you are, whatever religion, or whatever ethnic group you're from, whatever political ideologies you subscribe to,
Bestie not sweet like my bestie.
it means nothing to the country.
Bestie, fire friend like me.
The country Liberia is supreme, and it is the supreme interest of the most vulnerable
So heavy.
that we champion on this platform. You are celebrating Samaka today. Samaka is going to sleep in prison very soon.
They want me go, I say,
But again, those of you who are in authority, those of you who are of the opinion that you cannot be touched,
they want me go, I say,
watch out for justice. The bell of justice is ringing, and soon, very soon, very, very soon, you're going to account for your stewardship. You're going to account for what you're doing to the Liberian people, and that is when justice is going to be served. Until we return on tomorrow, which is the weekend's edition, where we are supposed to have the Vahun Commissioner as our guest. My name is Kai Alexa was here. We'll see you on tomorrow. Bye bye.